If you're trying to run multiple side hustles and business ventures to make more money alongside a full-time job that you're already doing or a demanding contract role, then you're likely thinking that your job is the reason that you can't nail any of those extra things down. But the reality is it's probably not your job that's causing the issue here. It's actually a decision that you have yet to make. And the reason I know this is because in February 2025, I was in a full-time role and then I got made redundant and had to go into a contract role at short notice. And the panic began from there. So I started doing multiple business ventures, all sorts of side hustles, getting involved in things that honestly I didn't feel like I really belonged in, but I was trying to make money and I was trying to build up some kind of security. And all I kept doing was looking at that contract that I was doing that was very demanding anyway on my time. And I was saying to myself, this is the problem here. If I can just not do that, then I'll be able to run all these businesses and be successful. However, unfortunately for me and my family, that didn't quite go to plan. And in December 2025, after a long stint, which was nearly 10 months of contracting, I had a mental breakdown. And that breakdown was literally on a walkout with my family around a lake in a local area to me, which was like a nature reserve. And I just broke down into tears because I realized that I was in real trouble. I was drowning in the amount of work that I was trying to achieve. And I was doing this with the wrong focus. And that was security and money. And I'm now recovering well from my mental health episode, but it was quite a scary experience. But what it forced me to do was to put into perspective the sheer amount of things that I was trying to do at the same time. I literally had all sorts of business ideas. There was things that I didn't really know that much about, but I knew I could make money from them. And I was trying to do that alongside the demanding contract role. And that was ultimately what caused me a massive burnout and a mental breakdown. Now, we'll come back to that story in a minute because there's a lesson here that you really need to understand. And that is just because you've got loads of different things going on, it doesn't mean that you're putting all of your effort into the right place. Instead of asking yourself the questions of what else can I do today? What else can I build? The question you really should be asking yourself is, which of the things that I'm already doing, or which is the thing that I want to do long term that I would be happy doing 12 to 24 months down the road, even if I didn't earn any money? Because you will naturally gravitate to things that you think will earn you loads and loads of money really quickly. But there's a newsflash to this, and that is that you may find that you hate the things that you have to do to make money. And the stuff that you really want to do will require hard work and effort to get a business going you're really happy with that you can generate money from. It doesn't happen overnight. Like I said, it can take 12 to 24 months. And if you can ask that question honestly of yourself and actually put an answer on it, it will help you to streamline exactly what it is that you need to work on and where you need to focus your efforts. Now, to conclude the story that I had, what I found that I needed to do was exactly this. So just after the Christmas period, I took a stock take of absolutely everything I was doing, and I worked out which things I needed to get rid of, stuff that was born out of panic, born out of anxiety, to make money, to feel like I could top up my salary or the job income I was earning so that I wouldn't worry in case I lost my contract. I had to sever that belief and I had to cut out the things that were really sapping my energy that honestly I wasn't actually that excited about. And the proof here is that I actually don't miss any of those things that I dropped. And so when I cut those things out of my life, what I suddenly started to find is that I felt a bit more energized. I had a bit more energy to do the things that were arguably a bit more hard work, but they were things that I wanted to do myself, things that I was passionate about, like creating content online. And if you find that any of this is resonating with you at all, then I've got an Honest Brief newsletter, which is completely free to sign up to. And I'll send you one weekly snippet, which will break down something that's happened to me at work that week and something that you can potentially take action on so something does or doesn't happen for you. I've put a link down below in the description for you. Now, there is something that you can do to identify the exact situation that you're in and to follow the steps that I did in order to achieve the exact same result. And it's actually really simple. It just involves making a list. So you can do this on your computer or with pen and paper. What you should do is write down every single side hustle, little side adventure that you're doing. Try and make money or build a business that is outside of what you would consider your core job or your core employment. And then for each one of those things that you've listed, you should ask yourself a few questions. The first one is, are you really passionate about this or are you just doing it for the money? So make a note of that. And the second question that you should ask yourself is, would you be willing to do this idea, this business venture for the next 12 to 24 months, even if you weren't being paid? Now that might sound a little bit counterintuitive because you might be looking for money up front, But the reality is those quick money stints don't last forever, and they might be things that you absolutely hate doing. If there's something that you're passionate about, firstly, it will jump off the page from you straight away as the one idea that you should keep. And I'm not saying that you should throw them all away completely, but you're going to have to park some of them because you literally do not want to be in the situation I was in when I completely broke down because I had way too many things going, spinning all the plates, running the kitchen, doing everything all at the same time. It's just impossible. Most professionals have full teams to do this kind of stuff, but if you're a one-person business or you're thinking about becoming a one-person business, then you're going to have to be smart about what it is that you actually build. And that list that you've just produced, along with the answers to the questions next to them, should give you enough clarity to make some key decisions to start chopping down all of the dead wood that honestly will just sap your time. Now, there is a warning attached to this, and that is that when you create this list and you've worked out what it is that you want to do, you're likely to get motivated to want to go and do something about it really quickly. And sometimes that can fall badly into the hands of people who preach the quit your job to be successful camp. So it's important that you know that that advice is complete and utter bullshit, and you do not want to listen to that. That is what people who've got lots of money already want you to think, signing up for their mentorship and just going all in with them because they will get you the results quickly. That just doesn't happen. So there's a video on screen that will help you to understand this in a little more detail. And what you'll be surprised to know that in this video, I'll break down exactly why your job is actually the starting point for your business.